The Chocolate-Powered Adventures of Keysh and Mynor. Quest for the Banana Thief. Written and illustrated by Lloyd. For my jungle brothers and the rest of the Bribri tribe, thank you for all you have taught me and the hospitality you have shown me in your beautiful verdant home. Weste Weste. This is Mynor and this is Keysh, and as far as friends go, they are the best. Deep in the jungle is where they reside, with the rest of the Bribri tribe. Palm-thatched huts in the shape of a cone are where each of them calls their home. And down by the river, which leads to the sea, is the canoe they carved out of a tree. You may have noticed their beaming grins, from cheek to cheek and down to their chins. You'll soon see why when you hear what they eat. It's a diet that would be hard to beat. There's never a meal without fresh ripe banana and a special fried bread called chichikakonya. But the thing they cannot live without is chocolate made from pure cacao. Cacao gives more than just the snack we know. The Bribri are experts in helping it grow. From the fruit they can make drinks and food, but you must never burn the sacred wood. Chocolate can be rubbed on your hair and your skin. They even use it as medicine. It's no wonder to see why they're always happy, with a culture built on something so yummy. There's a special chocolate drink they called siruba, with nutmeg, cinnamon, turmeric and ginger. They drink it every morning to make them strong, and keep them going all day long. The days in the rainforest are often the same. No weekdays and weekends, just sunshine or rain. One morning, however, something had changed, an incident that was very strange. Keysh and Mynor awoke in dismay, finding their bananas had been stolen away. Only 2 remained from the whole bunch. If they had one each, there'd be none for lunch. But what was this, as they looked around? A discarded banana peel on the ground. They inspected it closely, looking for a clue, and then saw another, and another one too. The trail of banana skins led into the jungle, but more pressingly their tummies started to rumble. They made a huge pot of chocolate and drank it with zest, knowing they'd need lots of energy for this quest. When you walk through the jungle, you take a big knife, called a machete, which might just save your life. It's used to cut through plants and vines, which get too tangled to pass sometimes. Keysh has a long machete, but often forgets to pick it back up after taking a rest. Mynor's knife is short, sharp and stout. A baby machete he is never without. They picked up their tools and set off on the trail, confident that there was no chance they could fail. The path was laid out ahead at their feet, banana peels everywhere, but none to eat. It wasn't long until they saw in a tree a banana on a branch as high as can be. Trees in the jungle grow straight and tall, very hard to climb and far to fall. Fortunately, hanging from the trees up high are long vines strong enough to climb. Keysh propped his machete against a tree and climbed hand over hand up a vine to see. As Keysh reached the branch where the banana lay, he chuckled, not knowing what to say. "Hey Mynor," he called back down to the floor. "This banana is a toucan, nothing more." "Do you know who took our bananas?" he sighed, to the toucan who shook its beak side to side. It gave a loud squawk and flew from its perch, leaving them to continue their search. A sleepy voice asked, "What's all this noise?" as a fuzzy ball became aware of the boys. Keysh looked to his left to see who spoke, and realised it was a sloth he awoke. "Sorry to wake you, Mrs. Sloth. Someone took our bananas and wandered off. You didn't happen to see where they went?" he asked her, hoping to get back on the scent. "Sure," she replied. "I think I saw. That way," as she extended a claw. Before she could finish, she'd fallen into a doze, but the direction was clear from her finishing pose. Keysh slid back down to where Mynor stood, and they ran towards the river as fast as they could. But in their haste they forgot one vital thing: Kesh's machete they neglected to bring. Sure enough, the sloth had delivered. The trail continued across the river. But how can we cross? Keysh pondered aloud. This way, yelled Mynor from a rock standing proud. We can jump from here to that sunken log, as he pointed to the home of a poison dart frog. Keysh joined him on top of the rock, but realised too late that their log was a crock. Mynor had already jumped onto its back, swiftly springing across to the bank. Keysh swung across using a vine, making it safely, both of them fine. The jungle ahead looked dark and old, only a place for the brave and the bold. Under a tree that was dead and rotten, they entered this place that time had forgotten. Crossing their path was a slithery snake, silently watching every move that they make. Its patterned body, although long and large, was perfect for providing camouflage. "Hey, Mr. Snake, have you seen our bananas?" they asked when they spotted him amongst the lianas. "Sure," hissed the snake, "but you'll have to sneak past the sleeping cat. Be silent and fast." He pointed with his tail to a purring mound, a jaguar concealed in the leaves on the ground. They tiptoed past as quiet as can be, so as not to wake the big cat from her sleep. Deeper and deeper into the forest they go, to find a thief they still didn't know. Suddenly Mynor cried, "Keysh, stop! Look out!" But Keysh turned to look back when he heard Mynor shout. If only he'd been looking ahead, he'd walked straight into a giant spider's web. He wriggled and squirmed, but was completely stuck, and his machete was missing. What bad luck. Without it to use to cut himself free, he called to Mynor, "Quick, help me!" Mynor hacked and slashed his way through, just in time to perform a rescue. Free from the web, they continued their quest, following the path that suited them best. The banana skins grew more and more, scattered everywhere upon the floor. Certain that their thief was found, but with no footprints on the ground, they wondered where the thief might be, and raised their eyes to the canopy. And what do you suppose sat up in the trees? A mischievous troop of capuchin monkeys. The monkeys heckled and laughed at the pair, watching them helplessly standing there. "Give us our bananas, you thieving bunch. You've left us without any food for lunch." The boys yelled and shook their fists, but it didn't matter how much they might insist. "We've eaten them all," the monkeys said, and threw the remaining skins on their heads. There was nothing they could do but laugh, having come all that way along the path. And now they had reached the end of the trail, with nothing to show for it but a campfire tale. They returned and retraced the path they had taken, carefully avoiding the crocodile they'd mistaken. They returned back to the village just as night fell. Dinner was served, and they had a story to tell. Not only had the banana quest meant they missed lunch, but while they'd been gone, the tribe had picked a new bunch. The chocolate-powered adventures of Keysh and Mynor is an entirely independent piece of work. If you have enjoyed it and wish to show me support, you can purchase a paperback copy from Amazon from all territories. Please also take the time to leave a review. Thank you.